Welcome. Today, we're diving into a critical topic, the hidden risks behind low-cost pharmaceutical manufacturing. Dr. S.K. Singh will guide us through the challenges, focusing on DEG and EG contamination risks. It's a complex issue with serious implications for safety and quality. Let's explore what's really at stake. When we focus too much on cutting costs, it can set off a chain reaction, starting with product recalls, then regulatory action, damage to reputation, patient harm, and ultimately business loss. Some excipients, like glycerin or propylene glycol, carry higher risks, especially if contaminated with toxic substances like diethylene glycol or ethylene glycol. These contaminants can sneak in when materials aren't properly vetted. The World Health Organization has warned about this, particularly in oral liquid medicines. So, low cost isn't always low risk. Cheaper suppliers and faster production can hide serious quality issues. When we look at where risks can creep into the supply chain, several failure points stand out. Things like supplier substitution, poor qualification, or mislabeled and contaminated materials can all cause trouble. Inadequate sampling or testing, especially for harmful substances like DEG and EG, is another big risk. Sometimes, relying solely on supplier certificates or weak traceability makes it harder to catch problems. Pressure in procurement and poor change control add to the challenge. The risk flows through every step, from raw material makers, through distributors and manufacturers, all the way to the finished product reaching the market. When it comes to deciding if a material meets good manufacturing practice, the paper decision might be simple. If the supplier provides a certificate of analysis, the material's accepted. But the real decision is far more complex. It involves cost savings balanced with quality risk management, supplier qualification, supply chain checks, risk assessments, testing, and final approval by quality assurance. The key principle here is clear. Procurement savings must never come at the expense of pharmaceutical quality. Otherwise, we fall into the low-cost trap, where shortcuts in supplier selection, testing, sampling, audits, inventory, and change control can quietly compromise GMP. When it comes to good manufacturing practice, knowing your supplier is just the start. Sometimes, you need to know your supplier's supplier too, especially when the risk is high. The World Health Organization's guidance on excipients highlights the need for a strong quality system and risk-based controls. Take glycerin as an example. A supplier might call it pharmaceutical grade, but we need to dig deeper. Who made it? Where? Was it repacked? How do they control impurities like DEG or EG? And is the certificate of analysis truly linked to the batch? A robust GMP approach means assessing everything, from the manufacturer and site, to the supply chain, quality controls, and past inspection history. Supplier qualification is our first line of defense. It starts with paperwork, questionnaires, certificates, agreements, and ends with a trusted, approved supplier list. The World Health Organization recommends that manufacturers test every batch of at-risk raw materials for harmful contaminants like EG and DEG before using them in oral liquid medicines. One effective way to do this is gas chromatography, as long as the method is properly validated. The key idea here is trust, but verify. Don't just accept a certificate of analysis as proof of quality. Instead, ask the tough questions. Is the supplier qualified? Is the certificate genuine? Is the batch traceable? Was the sample truly representative? Only thorough quality control keeps medicines safe. When we talk about risk-based testing, it's important to remember, it doesn't mean doing the bare minimum. Testing needs to match the real risks involved, based on solid science and how critical the material is. Cutting corners might look like a smart cost-saving move at first: less testing, lower quality control expenses, faster product release, and a cheaper manufacturing price. But this shortcut can actually hide a bigger problem, a higher chance that risks go unnoticed, which can be far more costly down the line. Let's talk about quality culture, what it really means when something goes wrong in the lab. Imagine a suspicious test result pops up like detecting a contaminant. The wrong move, just repeating the test until it passes, that's a red flag. The right approach preserves the original data and launches a thorough investigation, covering everything from instruments to suppliers. We look for warning signs like missing data, repeated unexplained results, or shortcuts around quality controls. A strong quality culture means facing these issues head-on, not sweeping them under the rug. When it comes to controlling DEG and EG risks, there are 10 golden rules we need to follow closely. First, never sacrifice good manufacturing practices just to save on raw material costs. Always qualify the actual manufacturer and critical parts of the supply chain. Treat high-risk excipients with documented risk management. Don't blindly trust supplier certificates of analysis. Test for DEG and EG before use, when needed. Use sampling plans backed by science, control supplier changes formally, protect lab data integrity, and investigate any out-of-spec results thoroughly. Keep full traceability from raw material to batch, and always measure quality decisions by patient risk, not just cost. Remember, low cost with strong GMP equals efficiency. Low cost with weak GMP equals uncontrolled risk. If you found this training valuable, there are a few simple ways to show your support. Like the video to let us know it helped you. Drop a comment, tell us, what's the most important control against DEG and EG contamination? Share this with your colleagues in QA, QC, production, procurement, regulatory, and supply chain. Follow Siphacos and subscribe to the channel to stay updated on pharmaceutical quality, GMP, and regulatory compliance. Thanks for being part of this journey. Thanks for joining me today. If you want to dive deeper or need any help, don't hesitate to reach out. I appreciate your time and attention. It's been a pleasure sharing this with you. Take care and see you next time.